What's up, bros and hoes? Whatever floats your goat. It's your boy Relentless, and today I have a special treat for you with also, as you can tell in the title, a very special guest. And today we're going to be discussing a little what they discussed in the recent state of the game on December the 15th, along with other changes that we think that possibly could be a better influence in the coming of 1.6 since it is focusing mainly on the PvP aspect of the division. Now, before we get into our special guest, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and just throw out some discussion topics, my personal opinions, and then we'll get to your side of it and see what you think, and then your rebuttal, and how, in your own words, can 1.6 be better on the PvP side. Now, I've read all over Reddit, Ubisoft forums, different social medias, and everybody is saying for some reason that Alpha Bridge is OP now. But Alpha Bridge hasn't changed more or less since it first was introduced into the division. The only thing that's more or less made it, I guess, how some people would say OP, would be the talent uncomplicated on the FAMAS. And I think you would agree, and I believe that you've said this before, that the 15 base damage buff that you get from it, as long as there's no accuracy or stability mods on either weapon, such as on an Alpha Bridge build, it should be reduced to, say, in my opinion, from 15 to maybe like a flat 8%, around the same lines as you would get on, say, a Predator's Mark build for ARs and SMGs, or like Lone Star for LMGs and shotguns. Now, on the different aspects of the PvP, and this is just me spitballing here, and I threw it around and saw it also on some other forums and whatnot. To go back to the days of when crit chance was actually on weapons, it seems you can mod SMGs with more crit chance than you can ARs, thus, the particular mods that you can get for SMGs versus the ARs. So what if they took off the enemy armor damage on the ARs and in turn put crit chance on them? Now, you got crit damage on the SMGs, and you'd have a crit chance on the ARs. Granted, it wouldn't be, a significant, like the crit damage would be on SMGs like back in the heyday, but somewhere around the lines of say 15%, and then only limit the enemy armor damage to be rolled on specific gear pieces such as the mask and the knee pads, and then you also have the destructive talent that can also be on the gun, because there's obviously something is needs twerking when it comes to the enemy armor shred and the PvP aspect of things, because it seems like no matter if you are 54, 55% armor mitigation and running 450, 460k toughness, you can easily get shredded in a matter of moments. And it was all about rebalancing of the game. Now, and also there's other gear sets that need to be reworked, such as the Reclaimer, as in what should Reclaimer be adjusted to, or what changes should be done to it. Such as like the blind gear set became the Banshee. Now, could we see something similar along the lines when it comes to Reclaimer? Could it be, since people are making more or less healer builds out of it, and we know Firecrest affects, turrets, so why can't Reclaimer be more like a healer build, and in turn utilize the support stations and the immunizers versus the flame turrets? And then another thing, since the nerfing of sticky bombs and sinkers and so on and so forth, and you can still one shot, but it's very difficult to do and you have to, run 4-piece tac, specialize, and spec completely into electronics, and also have, the 4-piece tacticians procced, and then you're more or less capable of one-shotting someone with sticky, but it's still very hard. It's not like the days of 1.1. So now we got, all these other things. And 1.4 was supposed to be, the rebalancing, the reworking of the game. And we saw furthermore rebalancing, and they're still working out some kinks. We've got new weapons. And now 1.6 will be arriving sometime later next year. Hopefully, the first part of it. I'd say somewhere in between January to March. Um, but yeah, them are just some of my spitball ideas, and I want to just throw them off of you, and then turn and see what you have to, what kind of comments or concerns, or what do you think the options would be when it comes to the redoing of the Reclaimer set, and also since there's really no need for the 2-piece final measure now, or even the 4-piece, could that also be another gear set that could be utilized in a totally different way that would make this game even more diverse than what it is? So without further ado, I'm going to switch it over to our special guest. I can't believe this, but it's not butter. Wait a minute. Something's up. You're supposed to be like butter. And it clearly says, I can't believe it's not butter. Okay, where's my agent? Agent? Hello, agent? This is not who's supposed to be here discussing this with me. There's obviously something wrong. Don't just sit there with your head down, dude. I mean, get somebody on the phone. Get the right person over here. This is clearly not the individual that we're supposed to be discussing and having this topic discussion with in this podcast. I mean, come on, what do I pay you for? Holy shit. I mean, come on, get your act together. I mean, this is, ugh. Anyways, guys, I apologize. As you can see, it's not butter. It's like butter, but it's not butter. Holy crap. I just completely feel like a dumbass. Lucky Larry, you are fired as my agent and my talent scout. You were supposed to get on the horn, and you completely didn't. You're done. You're fired. Go back to used cars. I'm sorry, guys. I thought it was going to be someone else, but it is what it is. So without further ado, I guess that's going to be the end of it. But, since this was a complete debacle, thanks, Lucky Larry, dumbass. Yeah, what comments, suggestions that you would have on the reworking of possibly Reclaimer, the uncomplicated talent that, more or less accompanied with Alpha Bridge seems to be an issue, something along the lines of the whole enemy armor damage and the armor mitigation. There's still something that needs to be worked out and needs to be said, little tweaks here and there about that. It also seems like with bare minimum skill power, even turrets are still doing like a heap of damage as if somebody was running like 150k skill power. And since there is no status effects for the Reclaimer set, so what should that be revamped into? And, Seeker Mines, you can still have EDR on your chest piece and knee pads and certain other things that, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to run to final measure anymore. So is that something else that can be worked out? Leave any suggestions, comments, because as we all know, the sign-ups for the Elite Task Force is over. Hopefully you've submitted your applications in the next several days, in the coming week. They should be announcing who will be going to North Carolina to Red Storm Studios to help on this elite task force when it comes to 1.6 and the whole PvP side of it. Once again, sorry for the disappointment, but we got this nice crackling fire. Happy holidays, everyone. And this is your boy Relentless. And smash that thumbs up button. And hope you enjoyed the shenanigans. And we'll see you guys fudging later.